Okay, so in the beginning of this video, you saw that table with that galaxy on the top of it. I painted that, the Milky Way galaxy, on for my nephew's little, snack table or whatever. My sister kind of made a mess. And, so yeah, I just quick painted it for him. And I asked him when I was painting it, I was like, because he has galaxies on his bedroom wall and stuff, instead of dinosaurs and all the things. Anyway, so we decided on a galaxy. I was like, that's a simple, So after I did it, I said, do you know what that is? I said, what does it look like? How does it look? He said, it looks like a galaxy. And I said, do you know what galaxy? He said, no. And I said, the Milky Way galaxy. And I showed him how the stars, the cluster stars, made it look like a milky line through the sky. And I said, do you know what galaxy we live in? Do you know what galaxy that we live in, supposedly? Our galaxy. And no. I said, that's the galaxy we live in. That's our galaxy. He had no idea. Okay. And then I thought, well, how does he not know that? Well, maybe he's just too young. I thought, so 5 or 6. And then there was a little bit later, I signed it and sealed it and all the things. And there's these 3, I don't know, between 12 and 15. Not old enough to drive, not young enough to be escorted by their parents. They walk by, and I asked him what it looked like. And one of the girls said, a galaxy. And I said, do you know which galaxy? No, she didn't know. And I said, do you know what galaxy that we live in? None of them knew what galaxy. Up to 14 or 15 years old, and they don't even know what galaxy that they live in. What are we doing with our lives if our children do not know the galaxy that they come from? I mean, whoa. That's sad. And so I told them, here's a little history lesson. We live in the Milky Way galaxy and before we had bodies. We've been here a long time. That's where the history comes in, so don't correct me and tell me that it's geography or some sort of whatever bullshit. I know what I'm talking about. And also, I said, and you've been able to view a fine piece of art all in the same day. School's out for the rest of the week. You learn more than you do in general education, obviously.